Shalom, my at hotel. Namaste. Free the land, beloved. Come on in, come on in, come on in. My name is Vicki Dillard, and I'm a very proud contributor right here on FlyNubianQueenTV.com, the network for melanated women just like you. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the broadcast. We're so pleased that you are with us today, beloved family. We have so much to discuss. We do. Somebody talk black to me. Just a little bit of housekeeping before we get ready to discuss how our brother, LeBron James, has said that he is going to campaign for Jim Crow Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. So we're getting ready to discuss the implications of that. Is that right, family? So just before we do that, as you come in, family, please come in giving us the thumbs up, especially if you're watching us on FlyNubianQueenTV.com or one of our other YouTube affiliates. If you happen to be watching us on one of our other affiliate networks, please like, share, and follow on the count of 3. Are you ready? Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing, beloved. Thank you so very much. Now, also, I want you to be sure to text the word Queens to 31996 so that you're able to receive phone notifications when we go live from time to time. Would you do that? Text the word Queens. I'm sorry, I'm working my other device here. Please text the word Queens to 31996 so that you're able to receive phone notifications when we go live from time to time. Also, I want you to know it is Wonderful Wednesday, Wisdom Wednesday. And on Wednesdays, beloved, I conduct our amazing weekly mastermind class at clubvicky.com. That's clubvicky.com. Once a week, I drop spiritual jewels, metaphysical jewels, and I elaborate on them, and you get to ask me questions and answers. Beloved, you also, by the way, are able to still access my 2-hour course on angels that I did a few days ago. We're still receiving just unbelievable testimonials and responses from that. And we thank you so much for making it a success. More importantly, I thank you for investing in yourself, because I know that it'll change your life. For those that are looking for a life of more power and more purpose, beloved, you can go to clubvicky.com. That's clubvicky.com to do that. Let me tell you one other thing. Stay tuned, because I got some other special announcements that's coming up about some other wonderful things that we're going to be doing that you may have access to. So be sure, dear family, to stay tuned for that. Would you? Be sure to stay tuned for that. Now, thank you all for your kind words. You say the sweetest things. Thank you so much. Thumbs up, family. Keep liking and sharing. Now, one of the things that, I want you to also know is that we're in a universal world. Meaning the oneness of it all. Shout out to you, Silent D Productions, and others that are giving. Silent D Productions, another episode of Hot Girl Summer. Judge Vicki Dillard. Yes, I bless your gifts 1,000-fold. Because we're in the universe, beloved, and we're subject to universal order. Everything in the universe depends on something else, or works together and in conjunction with other things. So if I have a gift or skill set and I'm providing that to you. And then you provide a minimal investment and your time and attention to apply those things. Everybody can benefit. Somebody talk black to me. That's universal order. And in a time where it is obvious that white supremacy is going out and there's resistance to it, and thus an overthrowing it that's imminent, there's a changing of the gods. There's a new world on the horizon. I'm going to need somebody black to talk black to me. There's a lot of tension. Folk are stressing out. And so this environment is meant to aid you spiritually, mentally, in your day-to-day life. Are you hearing me today? So that's clubvicki.com. You can still join for $1 for the first 30 days. You can still join for $1 for the first 30 days. God willing, tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. I look forward to talking about the power of a spiritual voice spread. Y'all don't play with me. Those that listen, I'm excited for those that get to hear it, because it's not me that are giving these downloads. It's spirit. Thank you, Tamayo, for your love offering. He said, your love offering. Oh, that's the word you use. That's so precious. I bless it 1,000-fold. So clubvicki.com, you can still join for the first 30 days for $1. Thereafter, it's an extraordinarily reasonable rate. Enough of that. Let me get on with the get on. Yesterday, we were together for some time, and I want to sort of pick up where we dropped off yesterday, but let me lead into it. So many of you tell me how heavy my shows are. Some of you say it's so deep. But family, I want us to win. And when you're tuned into the Vicki Show, baby, you're coming here to get your war briefing. I'm going to need somebody to talk black to me. I want you to come get your war briefing. Are you hearing me today? And when you have the right intelligence, you know, I love this statement that Dr. Ava Muhammad made. She says, whoever has the superior thought has the superior action. Whoever has the superior thought has the superior action. What does that mean? The quality of the knowledge and the information that you are receiving matters. And because we are in a real world war with white supremacy, black family, my shows are meant to empower and aid you in the overcoming of it. How many of you all know that once the war is won, then you can move on about the business of other types of building? But meanwhile, until we win, baby, this is a conversation, and it's meant to empower you. It's meant to encourage you. That's my job. That's my particular assignment. Somebody talk black to me. Instagram, shout out to my Instagram family. By the way, family, you can follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. Follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. Instagram, I'm going to need to use this device. So please get ready to come on over to flynubianqueentv.com Instagram. And whoever said that on my Instagram page, oh, shout out to my sister, Sonia S. You know who you are. That's my Smith & Wesson right there. That's our little code word. Y'all don't know what I mean by that. She knows what it is. Shout out to my queen sister. I see you, beloved. Somebody talk black to me. Y'all don't know nothing about that, them real warriors. Y'all don't know about that belly of the beast stuff. God today. Thumbs up, family. Keep liking and sharing. Instagram, I'm going to need to use this device. So get ready to come on over to flynubianqueentv.com. Now listen. I want to say this before we talk about LeBron and Aunt Jemele Hill. I use that word on purpose because, you know, in war, I'm naming individuals and entity that serves as tools. Are y'all hearing me? You all know that your Jesus of 2,000 years ago referred to enemies of the people as what? Snakes and vipers. That's what I'm referring to her as, because I don't want you all to be coddling, high-fiving, sister girling, double dutching. God, today. Going to get your steams and stuff together, sis. Y'all know what I'm talking about, sisters. Going to the spa together with somebody that doesn't mean you any good. I'm going to need somebody to talk black to me. Shout out to you, Swanky B, for your gift. General Vicki talking to us from the war room. You got that right. So don't come in here, especially you males that's all up on my page, trying to justify weakness. It doesn't mean that we're not weak. My goal is to make us strong. So you better go sit your funny looking self down somewhere, coming over here asking me how come I'm not rubbing you and coddling you and stuff. We're in war and we're trying to win. And I know that you have the potential and the capacity to rise up and to make it so. These are not ordinary times. When are you going to understand that? I'm going to say it again. Before you think your next thought, before you fix your lips to say something else, acknowledge this reality for Black folk. We are not in ordinary times. In fact, everything that can be shaken will be shaken. That's a word for some of you. Some of you that are freaking out right now, some of you that are telling me that your life is going to hell in a handbasket, for some of you that are feeling like that nothing is going right. Let me tell you something. You rejoice and you hold on and you don't give up. Why, Vicki? Because everything that needs to be shaken, you want to see that right now. Everything that can be shaken, let it fall. Because when you shift into that next level, you want only the strong and the best. You know what they say, pain is only weakness leaving the body. I'm going to say it again. Pain is only weakness leaving the body, so let it. Strengthen your knees. Get up and speak to yourself. Be your own cheerleader. I don't feel it. Okay, say I don't feel it and keep moving forward. Move through it. Work through it. Screaming, crying. Shift. Move. I want you to experience what's on the other side of all this hell. I want you to receive the glory of the Olympian, of the marathon. People that go the distance, there's a glory. There's a reward that they get that not everybody else does. Somebody talk Black to me. People that go the distance, they get something. They acquire something that not everybody else does. And if you want something you never had, you got to do something you've never done. Now let's get on with LeBron and Aunt Jemele Hill. For those of you that don't know about Aunt Jemele Hill, you need to check out my other shows. I give you the breakdown. I show you how Aunt Jemele Hill said about the Black community that some of us can be culturally arrogant. She said that in reference to Black folk who are acknowledging who the true children, Hebrew children are. She said that some of us, in addition to other stuff, she said that some Black folks can be culturally arrogant. She called Minister Louis Farrakhan vile. And she did a whole bunch of other shady stuff by causing unnecessary gender wars between Black and white, Black men and white and Black women. Let me get my tongue right. She was causing unnecessary gender wars between the Black man and the Black woman. So before you come in here saying, well, is Vicki being mean? Baby, you just got to catch up. You just didn't know. Because you didn't know, just reserve your comments. Just research. And I did a lot of it for you already. Somebody talk Black to me. Now, LeBron, I'm not here to beat up on LeBron James either. I'm not here to beat up on our brother. But I'm just trying to expose the fact that his manner of addressing white supremacy, and that is the problem. That's the problem. I'm just here to say that his manner of addressing white supremacy is going to miss the mark, and in the end, he's going to be disappointed because he's still relying on white supremacist systems that include voting. So let's get ready to get into it. Instagram, I look forward to seeing you now. FlyNewBeanQueenTV.com. Mwah. All right, family. I'm finishing posting that. While I'm doing that, while I'm posting that, I want you to remember, don't forget to text the word Queens to 31996 so that you're able to receive phone notifications. Text the word Queens to 31996 so that you're able to receive phone notifications when we go live from time to time. Thank you so much. Shout out to you, Kimberly, for your gift. She said, God bless you, Queen. God bless you back. Shout out to my other sister, Kim W. Bless my dear sister 1,000-fold. My other sister, Nancy, in the digital building. Our beautiful moderators. Thank you all so much for joining us. And on the count of three, for those of you that haven't, please hit that thumbs up button. Are you ready? Please hit that thumbs up button. We want to draw other folk into the broadcast to let them know that we're here. And I want to get on to what I need to talk about as quickly as possible, because tonight, again, is our mastermind course, right? And again, you can join us even now at clubvicki.com, clubvicki.com. Shout out to you, Katrina. She says, check in. We'll do our best, beloved. Now watch this. Again, we say this in love. I always want to be mindful that when you're dealing in war family, sometimes you have to adjust your war strategy, right? When the conditions change, when the variables change, you also have to adjust how you go about addressing and dealing with stuff. Is that right, family? I see you. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. So that's important. So this is not about beating up on LeBron James. This is about exposing a method and the futility of a method that we've been using for a whole lot of years. It's not about the man, it's about the method. Somebody talk black to me. It's not about the man, it's about the method. So, what's happened recently with LeBron James? Well, I'm reading from the NBC Sports article that was written not too long ago by Kurt Helen. And it says LeBron James forms, oh, that's a little different. Well, actually, I am going to read this before I let you listen to the clip. It talks about how LeBron James, this was a few months ago, how LeBron James forms organization to help grow and protect Black voting rights. Okay? That's one thing. I'm going to let you know what he said recently with Jemele Hill in just a moment. So it says here that LeBron James, in addition to Trae Young, Jalen Rose, Draymond Green, and Skylar Diggins-Smith are among those teaming up with LeBron, building on the words and energy of the recent weeks of protest and turning that into action. It says LeBron and his partners have formed an organization called More Than a Move. Now, Black family, I don't know how many of you all have actually heard of that organization before, but it's called More Than a Move. And More Than a Vote, More Than a Vote, rather. That will not only register Black voters for November election, but also teach them how to counter voter suppression tactics. Plus, LeBron said he will use his social media presence and the organization to push back against restrictions on the right to vote, which often target minorities. Now, listen to this quote from him, okay, before I let you listen to this recent interview that he did with Jemele Hill, I mispronounced her name. It says that, quote, yes, you want to. No, that's not the quote I wanted to read. This is a quote from LeBron. He says, I'm inspired by the likes of Muhammad Ali. I'm inspired by the Bill Russells and the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's and Oscar Robertsons. Those guys who stood when the times were even way worse than they are today, Mr. James said. Hopefully someday down the line, people will recognize me not only for the way I approach the game of basketball, but the way I approach life as an African-American man. That's noble. That's a noble desire that he has to want to be known for more than just basketball. That's noble that he would invoke and see as an example the Muhammad Ali's and so forth, right? However, the method of him promoting Voting for Black people is futile. It is a fool's errand to promote that as a means for empowerment and Black liberation. Keep that in mind. Now, I understand why LeBron thinks that that is a viable means. Shout out to him for speaking out on a lot of good things related to white supremacy. But LeBron, you are what you eat. And in the circles that he rose in, somebody say Barack Hussein Obama, in some of the circles that he rose in, he's been given information, misinformation. This is intelligence that's coming from the other side. Y'all listen, shout out to you, KK. She said, glad God sent you to lead us into the promised land. Oh, beloved, I think that's over my head, beloved, but I thank you for your kind words. And I thank you for whatever role that I can play, beloved. We're doing this as a family. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Bless you, sis. Listen. The problem, LeBron, is it's deceptive intelligence that you have. LeBron, you didn't know that hearing from Barack Obama in private, having ongoing conversations with the Hillary Clintons of the world and her camp, baby, you didn't know that that was deceptive information. You didn't know that they were dropping knowledge that was coming from the other side. See, the other side for us, once again, dear family, is not just the demonic Republicans, and they are demonic. A lot of them. The shoe don't fit, don't wear it. But they do have a lot of open white supremacists. We can admit that. I'm an intelligent woman. I admit that there are a lot of open white supremacists in the Republican Party. Donald Trump being the main one. But that's the problem when Black folk, you choose to attach yourself to labels. Our fight, LeBron, is not just against, quote unquote, a Republican Party. It's against white supremacy, which is in both parties. And so you attach yourself to labels. So when a Hillary Clinton or her camp, when a Joe Biden or his camp is chit-chatting with you, you're not recognizing that they are also representative of the other side. Enemies to Black society. Do you understand? Now, LeBron, since such time, has sat down. Shout out to you, Evelyn. You know who you are privately. Mwah, I just saw this. I bless your gift 1,000-fold, beloved. Thank you so much, beloved. Thumbs up, family. Keep liking and sharing, would you? I was looking for this other thing that I want you to listen to now. Here it is. Here it is. This is from NBC Sports, where he sat down with Aunt Jemele Hill. I want you to listen to what he said in his own words. And let me just give a couple of disclaimers, just so you know that the thoughts and opinions that are expressed on the Vicki Show by me, Vicki Dillard, may not necessarily be those of the network FlyNubianQueenTV.com or our affiliates. There are several others where my show is played. So my thoughts and opinions are those of my own and not necessarily those of the different networks that I am on. Just want to say that. And also, because I want you to listen to this audio video, I want you to listen. I'm going to say this under copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for purposes for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit or educational or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. So LeBron sat down. I'm reading to you now from NBC Sports. He sat down with Jemele Hill and appears also Kari Champion. And he was asked, and the article reads, actually, LeBron James campaigned for Hillary Clinton in 2016, since LeBron has repeatedly criticized President Donald Trump, which he has every right to criticize Donald Trump because Donald Trump has intentionally and deliberately and openly attacked Black men and specifically Black athletes. So I can appreciate the manner in which LeBron James was giving him the business along with Laura Ingraham, that white supremacist over there at Fox News, who told him to shut up and dribble. So that makes sense that he's been on the defense as it relates to them. That makes total sense. But I want you to listen to the question that he's asked here. Let me set it up. I'm cueing it now.
So in 2016, you did some campaigning for Hillary Clinton, I believe, in Ohio. Do you plan on doing any kind of campaigning for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris?
For sure. I think what's known don't need to be said. We are at a time where we need change. In order for change, it's all about leadership, and leadership starts at the top.
Did you all hear that? Did you all hear that? I want you to also listen to what the ladies do. Listen to the sounds they're making when he says that, okay? I'm going to play it one more time. It's only a couple of seconds, just a few seconds, a short few seconds, family. Thumbs up, family. Keep liking and sharing. Let's try this again. I'm re-cueing it again. Again, he's sitting down with LeBron. LeBron is sitting down with Jemele Hill and Kari Champion recently on, I guess, their podcast, asking him about that.
So in 2016, you did some campaigning for Hillary Clinton, I believe, in Ohio. Do you plan on doing any kind of campaigning for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris?
For sure. I think what's known don't need to be said. We are at a time where we need change. In order for change, it's all about leadership, and leadership starts at the top.
Now, what's so fascinating about this whole thing? Did you hear what the ladies did when he said that? What did the ladies do, family, after LeBron told him that he was going to campaign for Jim Crow Joe Biden and Kamala Harris? What did the ladies do, beloved? Did you notice that? What did the ladies do? Yes, that's right, M. Ward. They chuckled. Somebody say chuckle. They chuckled. They chuckled. Do you plan on, I noticed in 2016 you voted for Kamala Harris. For Hillary Clinton. I get them all mixed up. They all the same. God, today. You voted for Hillary Clinton. And so we're just, oh, bless you, Michelle. But we just, do you plan on campaigning? Yeah, one more time. Forgive me. Thumbs up. Keep liking and sharing.
So in 2016, you did some campaigning for Hillary Clinton, I believe, in Ohio. Do you plan on doing any kind of campaigning for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris?
For sure. I think what's known don't need to be said. We are at a time where we need change. In order for change, it's all about leadership, and leadership starts. We are at a time where
what would I do?
For sure.
Do it.
I think what's known don't need to be said.
Let's do it together, family. Let's do it together.
And on doing any kind of campaigning for Joe Biden.
On the count of 3. I'm going to do it with my fingers, the countdown. Y'all ready?
And Kamala Harris.
For sure. I think what's known don't need to be said. We are at a time where we need change. In order for change, it's all about leadership, and leadership.
Why are you emphasizing that, Vicki? That was the help. That's a giggle that the help gives. That's a special kind of chuckle. That's a unique brand of giggle. Y'all don't play to me. Why you laughing? My moderator's even laughing. Y'all play too much. For real. What? That's a unique kind of giggle, chuckle. That comes from the help. That comes from the spirit of Aunt Jemima, the help. Why? What do you mean, Vicki? That's them giving a sigh of relief that he's going to be on the team for Zaddy. Y'all didn't know that, did you? That's what that was about. That ain't no regular kind of chuckle. That's a different kind of chuckle. You got to know the pitch. You got to know. You got to know when it's different. It's just a slight different. Just about a hair. That ain't everybody's laugh like that. Y'all didn't catch that, did you? Some of you. But that's okay. That's why the Vicki Show exists. I'm going to give you what Laura Ingram's not going to give you. I'm going to give you what Sean Hannity's not going to give you. Tucker Carlson not going to give you. Joy Reid not going to give you. Rachel Maddow not going to give you. Somebody talk black to me. And while they were in the middle of the help chuckle, I snapped a picture because I didn't want it to move too fast. I want you to look at this picture. That was just a random snap. Look at the ladies. Look at her. Look at Jemile's. Look at Jemele. Oh, I'm a mess. Look at Jemele. Look at Aunt Jemima right there. Now look at Kari. Y'all see Kari? Look at her. They look at him gazing just like he act. Come on, y'all. That's a special kind of laugh. Like, oh, look, you've got Zaddy's back. Look at it. She got the nose squenched, don't you? Eyes closed. That's from the center of her heart. Y'all play too much. What is this about? What could that mean? What could that mean?
In 2016, you did some campaigning for Hillary Clinton, I believe, in Ohio. Do you plan on doing any kind of campaigning for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris?
For sure. I think what's known don't need to be said. We have time to really change. In order for change.
Watch this. Zaddy, you good. Zaddy, we got a rider, Zaddy. Zaddy, we got a rider, Zaddy. Who do we have as a rider? The ultimate big black buck. Remember, we've been discussing the history of that racial epithet that white supremacists would call our men, a black buck. And if you'll recall, particularly after post-Reconstruction, it was really used a lot. But the black buck was that masculine black man that did not suffer from condensation, didn't suffer from the spirit of dew, wasn't no buttery bussy bite, wasn't a part of the buttery bussy bite brigade. That was that black man that was resistant to white supremacy and oppression. That was that black man that wasn't okay with the butter biscuits in the house of Massa. That was that black buck that was not satisfied. That was that black buck that wasn't doing all that giggling and laughing and wasn't scratching where he didn't itch. The black buck was the one that was talking about a promised land and getting the heck up out of here. Somebody talk black to me. And as we learn historically, y'all know I'm giving you the history of this. The black buck, the white supremacists had to come up with a way to put him down, a way to deal with this problem. That black buck was dangerous to white supremacy. So they engaged in what became known as buck breaking. Somebody say buck breaking. The white supremacist was not content with the idea of simply murdering, killing, lynching, or whipping this black buck. But he engaged in another means of putting down black rebellions. Buck breaking became very popular during rebellions. So the white supremacist slave master did not just simply resort to murdering him, setting him on fire, lynching him, putting the whip to his back. No, baby. They came up with another method of dealing with black resistance. I'm giving you history here, family. The white slave master chose sexual assault, sodomy, rape. The mind of the white supremacists came up with a new method of dealing with this black buck, a process that came to be known as buck breaking. Let's not just kill him. Because for some, God today, woo, listen, let's not just kill him. Y'all listen to me. For some, death is not a strong enough deterrent. For some of these Negroes, death, the fear of death is not a strong enough deterrent, because for some of them, death is sweeter. God today, for some of them, death is sweeter than living like this. So they engaged in an even more diabolical method. Buck breaking. So they would rape the black man in front of everybody to instill fear. Notice how that didn't kill him. Or did it? That kind of assault deals with the mind. And how many of you all know that the mind is the control center of the body? And if you can successfully mind control, you have successfully gained control over one's behavior. And you can affect the psyche of people in such a way that they themselves will submit to oppression. You don't even have to put chains on them. Somebody talk black to me. This is a type of political buck breaking that I've been discussing the last couple of days now. What do you mean? You're talking about this in the context of LeBron James agreeing to campaign for Jim Crow Joe Biden? Yes. Because the reason that LeBron is campaigning, willing to campaign for Jim Crow Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, is out of fear. Somebody talk black to me. Fear, Vicki? Yes, fear. He fears another 4 years of Donald Trump, and that's understandable. He doesn't want to see that. But that's understandable. But the problem is Jim Crow Joe Biden, baby. The problem is you're not saying I'm not going to vote for either, especially seeing Jim Crow Joe hadn't offered us any reparations. He's moved out of fear. And just the other day, when he was engaged in one of the most powerful forms of resistance that had nothing to do with voting. How many of you all know what it was about? Thumbs up, family. Keep liking and sharing. Thumbs up, thumbs up. As you come in, family, please come in giving us a thumbs up. Be sure to like and share. My name is Vicki Dillard, and I'm typically here weekdays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on FlyNubianQueenTV.com, the network for melanated women just like you. Shout out to our brothers that's in the digital building that's always holding us down. The reason we ask that you give us a thumbs up, like, and share is because it helps to draw other folk into the broadcast. And how many of you all know that it's up to us to lift and to elevate and to strengthen the voice of Black media, and you get to participate in it. And for that, we thank you so much. By the way, you can follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. Follow me on Instagram, family, at Vicki X Dillard. One more commercial. I'm going to be doing my Wednesday night mastermind classes where you have direct access to me in my exclusive VIP mastermind session at clubvicky.com. We still have the first 30 days where you can join for $1. And after there is totally reasonable rate. But you get access to me every single week where I'm dropping a metaphysical, I'm dropping a spiritual jewel. I elaborate on it, and then I answer your question. It has been amazing. The testimonies have been overwhelming, and I assure you, we are just getting started. Clubvicky.com. Now, LeBron did that because he did it out of fear. Watch this. But the other day, LeBron and the other NBA players walked out of a meeting, was engaging in a boycott that affected white supremacists the world over. Somebody talk black to me. And that action that he engaged in had nothing to do with voting, but it was extraordinarily powerful because it affected the finances and the economics of a whole lot of white men that enjoy watching Black men dribble a ball and then Obama counseled him to retreat. Black family, there's a lesson right there before I move on with this conversation. When you are winning, God, today, let me tell y'all something. This is the difference between me and you. When you're winning, Black family, when you have the momentum, LeBron, you ought to know this, baby, when you're dribbling up and down the ball. How many of you all know, and I don't even fool with sports like that. Y'all know I see that just a notch or two below a terrorist attack. Thumbs up, family. Keep liking and sharing. Listen, I am sure that as an athlete, that have you all noticed that sometimes when certain basketball players or football, when they are hot, they get 1 point, they get another point, then they start getting 3 points. All of a sudden, it's like the night they just dominating the night. They come out with a whole bunch of points and they do it successively. Are y'all listening to me? Y'all tell me, brothers and sisters, am I wrong? That's when they have momentum. They're on a roll. They're hot. There seems to be a power, a force, and a grace to assist them. Are y'all hearing me today? When you are in that flow, God, today, when you're in that stream, When you're in that grace, baby, you don't relent, you don't retreat, you don't back up, you don't back down, you mash the gas. You can't know the fullness of your power if you let up. You resist attempts to make you afraid. It's a thing that you can't even articulate using the English language. You just know when you feel the flow. Somebody talk black to me. I got to talk to my spiritually intelligent people right now. When you're feeling a flow, even if you can't articulate it, that's the beauty of us women sometimes. Even when we're properly tapped in, even when we can't explain it all, baby, when we just go with the flow, there's a grace to that. We know how to ride that wave. Black family, I'm going to need us not to let up when we're winning. When you bring them to the table and when you got everybody sweating bullets, that's the last thing you do is in less than 24 hours call the thing off. Because a black-faced white supremacist by the name of Barack Hussein Obama talked you into doing it so that he too can save Zadie. I've already explained to you why Obama did that, didn't I? I explained to you, for those of you that missed my show, make sure that you catch up on it. Thumbs up, family. Keep liking and sharing. I explained to you, baby, they're not finna tell you. I'm gonna tell you what I know that's happening in the unseen parts. Vicki gonna tell you what's happening in the unseen parts. Obama did that because Obama knows that a whole lot of white men watch a whole lot of black sports. And if they can't get their regular season uninterrupted, they will, out of revenge, white backlash, vote for Donald Trump just because of that. And he did it, obviously, not just and. That had to do with him saving Jim Crow, Joe Biden. Thumbs up, family. Keep liking and sharing. Listen. Now I want to pick up a little bit with where we were yesterday. I got to tell you one more thing that LeBron did recently. What did I discuss yesterday? We discussed fear, right? We discussed how Terrell Owens came out talking about how scared he is and talking about how scared the black community is. Baby, somebody said you are what you eat. The question I have is I don't know who all they hanging out with. Because if you're listening to folk like myself, baby, there's some of us that's just getting started. We eat fear. We eat all of that other stuff for lunch, baby. We're talking about over here being fearless. How you going to have all those resources, fame, fortune, and all that, and then come out still scared? The devil is a lie. The devil is a lie. We don't know nothing about that over here. You subject to get ejected from our environment if you come over here with that scary, contagious spirit of fear. Now, are you saying, Vicki, we're not subject to this and you're telling me you're just perfect and you don't ever feel fear? No, slowness. That's not what I'm saying. But in war, we deal with it a certain way. And let me give you two things. I want to emphasize this. I remember telling you guys this before, but I meant to drive this home even more yesterday. Especially you brothers who have the God-given responsibility to provide and protect your black woman, your black families, and community. Now, if you don't think that's your job, you need to go listen to one of the other queens. Even though I think you're gonna be hard pressed to find one. But I don't speak for everybody else. You might need to go find you another show to tune into. You better get up off of listening to Vicki. I'm one that subscribes that it's a man's God-given nature to provide and to protect. And you don't just do it physically or financially. You also do it through your intelligence, your decision making, your ability to be strategic, methodical. So we're all at one time or another subject to feeling fear sometimes. But there are two major things, brothers, this is for you especially, that you can do so that you're not as fearful. I love you. I'm not dogging you out and trying to belittle you if you're fearful. I'm just giving you the 411 and letting you know what time it is and how we can't be here all day and night because you're scared. You got to do whatever you got to do. Afraid. Do it afraid. Two things. Become more knowledgeable about what you're engaged in. I'm trying to help you today. The more you know about a subject, the more you know about a thing, the least likely you're going to be afraid. Shout out to you, Roberta, for your gift. The more you educate yourself, beloved, the more knowledgeable you become, the more empowered you are. When you know how a thing works, brothers, you can exploit God today. You can have a strategic advantage by what you know. You know, my mother used to say, based on her children, she had boys and girls. Now, I know some of this, some of you little feminists, this ain't gonna work with some of y'all, because see, some of y'all don't believe in just regular knowledge. Some of y'all don't believe in just knowledge, intuitive knowledge and perceptive knowledge. Some of y'all don't believe in that down south, some of that knowledge. My mother's not going to break nothing down for you all the way like that and give you a whole bunch of references and receipts today. She not finna do that with you. She just going to be sweet and precious and all that. Say a few words and that's going to be it. You got to get the deepness in the little bit today. And it's deep. Don't get it twisted. But one of the things that my mother used to say about her raising, the difference between her boys and girls, is that she was listening to some lady that was complaining about her son. And this lady was complaining to my mother about her son, saying, he ain't like the girls. He just get all off into everything. And you know what my mother said? Y'all watch for this deep revelation. Watch this. I'm going to give y'all some deep revelation that came from Mother D. Y'all ready for this? Because some of y'all be doing too much. I'll be looking at some of these mothers, some of the mamas be stressed out nowadays. Y'all be doing, it's a lot of stuff y'all got going on. I'll be like, what happened? Watch this. Watch the deepness. Watch the deepness. Y'all ready for Mother D deepness? Let me give you some information, some wisdom she gave this lady. This lady was just complaining. She had a little girl one time before. Then she had a little boy. She was telling my mother, she said, he just gets into everything. He's not like the girl, my daughter. Guess what? Watch the deepness. This is what my mother said. She said, he's a boy. God today. Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch it? Did y'all catch that deepness? God today. Implied in the comment was the fact of how he's made up. There are certain attributes that come with that. God today. I know y'all think y'all something today. Y'all come here, y'all lighten up this comment section. I wish I could show it to her. She'll take a picture and text it to her. He's a whole boy. My brothers and stuff was getting into stuff that we girls wasn't digging off into. Okay? They was interested in stuff. They was tearing up stuff, then try to put the stuff back together. Are y'all listening? Why am I bringing that up now? Because in that same nature, in that same vein, brothers, y'all look at stuff. You logistic about stuff. God today. You fool around with stuff. You mess with stuff. You see what stuff is about. I want to encourage you, brothers. I want you to take a long look at your open enemy. The one that's dominated you for a while, I want you to study that enemy. I've got every confidence in you. I believe that you will be able to do something with that day. I believe that you'll come up with a solution. believe you will see a strategic advantage. LeBron, you're not finna tell me you some athlete and you don't study the opponent. One of my brothers was a very good athlete. In fact, there was a partial scholarship he got because he was so good. I think they used to pay attention to the little plays of the other side. So when he was on the court, he was good at basketball and football, actually. He was able to have a strategic advantage. That's not good for just the courts, brothers. That's not good for just the field. You can dominate them in every area. Wall Street, government, and industries in every area. Your big black brain will work over there too. You are, after all, the father of civilization. Lady was just complaining to my mom. He just into stuff. He's not like the girl. She was saying it as if the boy was something. Mama said, she said, he's a boy. God, that's deep for some of y'all. She said, he's a boy. And somebody repeat, she said, he's a boy. Men and women are different. It's okay. There's benefits to that. And I want you brothers to keep digging off into stuff. Look into stuff, analyze. I believe in your intelligence. Some of y'all might have missed the deepness from Mother D. But some of you all don't pay attention to the differences between the two. You see it as a problem. God, today. You see it as a problem. Thumbs up, family. Keep liking and sharing. Watch this. I'm going to say this and then I'm going to shift. What else did LeBron do? And I know he didn't mean no harm. But I got to show you, family, these areas we got to deal with. Because see, LeBron, do you think LeBron would be talking like that if he was in the face of Minister Farrakhan? Do you think he would be talking like that if he had the hookup with Dr. Claude Anderson? When Dr. Claude Anderson worked in government, Dr. Claude Anderson ran multiple campaigns. Black men that'll give you the inside information on your open enemy. Do you think that he would be acting like that if he had access and was counseling with even some of our brothers in the new black media? God, today. You are what you eat. Your circle, where you're getting your information from, matters. Two things. The first thing I told you that's going to help to strengthen you, brothers, so that you will be less fearful is a knowledge of a thing, right? That tendency of you all to explore some stuff. Don't think there's something wrong with that. I don't care what these little feminists and funny looking people out there are saying. And some of you brothers are the feminists now. God, today, I'm just keeping it real. Some of y'all more emotional in my comment section than the sisters about stuff. So you got to contend with that inner femininity. Let me get off of that. Thumbs up, family. Keep liking and sharing. Listen. The other thing, brothers, you need to do, and I heard my brother 19 Keys say this some time ago, and I've been pushing it ever since because I thought this was so beautiful. This is not to make fun of you men, because you have been made to fear. I'm trying to give you two solutions. One is the knowledge, having the knowledge of a thing. The second thing is train. God, today. Train. If you're engaging in educating yourself and training, baby, when it's showtime, LeBron, they have a certain kind of confidence because of their training. I did several teachings, and this is the kind of stuff, this is the type of knowledge I dropped during my mastermind classes. I've been teaching this for a long time, the law of repetition. Listen, and I've shared this with some of you. I'm totally moving past my show today on what I'm supposed to be talking about. Thumbs up, keep liking and sharing. But some of you need to hear this, including LeBron. What does LeBron need to hear? Before I say this next part, which I totally didn't expect to say, but let me write it down here. Watch what LeBron said recently, similar to what, where is it? Where is it? The volume. Okay. I'm trying to see why we can't hear this right now. Give me just a second to set this up, family. Keep liking and sharing, because I really want you to hear it with your own ears. Don't forget clubvicki.com. Clubvicki.com is my mastermind class. Clubvicki.com. You can still join for the first 30 days for $1. Also, we have a business school. If you want to learn how to build a Black business and learn from Black folk, go to flynubianbusiness.com. Flynubianbusiness.com. I'm having a little bit of an issue here, family, pulling this up. I'm going to read you what it said instead. I think. Okay. There we go.
If you're sitting here telling me that there was no way to subdue that gentleman, or detain him, or to just before the firing of guns, then you're sitting here and you're lying to not only me, you're lying to every African American, every Black person in the community, because we see it over and over and over. There was multiple, if you watch the video, there was multiple moments where if they wanted to, they could have tackled him, they could have grabbed him. You know, they could have done that. And why does it always have to get to a point where we see the guns firing and his family is there, the kids are there, it's in broad daylight, and who knows? I mean, if that video is not being taken by that person across the street, do we even know if we even see that video? There's like talks about that the cops didn't even have their body cams on. That's a possibility. It's just quite frankly, it's just in our community. And us, I know people get tired of hearing me say it, but we are scared as Black people in America. Black men, Black women, Black kids, we are terrified.
Did you all hear that? What did Terrell Owens say? What did I play you that Terrell Owens said yesterday? How scared he was, right? LeBron, beautiful, big Black specimen of a man, is telling white supremacist world that we're scared. And he didn't just leave it as scared. He said, we are terrified. Baby, that's contagious. That's a way to program us. And I explained to you yesterday, when you have the open white supremacist networks like Fox talking about it, it's because they're trying to let their white racist listeners know everything is all right. We're still dominating. When mainstream white liberal media outlets play it over and over and over again, they too are trying to signal to the racist base of Donald Trump that's freaking out about the blackening and the darkening and the browning of America. They're trying to let them know everything is all right. Even the biggest and the blackest buck, even if they come into power, they're harmless and we're still safe in their midst. You got to peep the game. And I told you yesterday that the most insidious part, the most dangerous parts of hearing someone of the stature of a LeBron James or Terrell Owens keep saying scared, Black folks are scared and terrified, is that young Black boys especially and girls are listening to these big Black men who are saying we are scared. You are programming our babies to be afraid. And exactly who are you telling them we're afraid of? White people? White supremacists? You got me all the way messed up. And LeBron, the wind you getting ready to feel is the wind of these curly braids. You got me messed up, baby. And even if you are afraid, you all know darn well as many games and championships as LeBron has been involved in, you're going to tell me there were not moments where he wasn't nervous? But you're not getting ready to let the other side know that. That's how I know that some of you all hadn't got the memo yet. You're still under this illusion that we're not in war, because you wouldn't be so foolish as to do that. You're right about that too, Otis. It's about also him not wanting to offend his white fans. That's true. Because black men are always wanting the opposition to see them as harmless. And that's a problem, because I told you yesterday that that's a turn on for them. As masochists, as individuals that are activated by savage, sick things, the stuff that's the opposite of what motivates us. But for one that has a predatory nature, these waste soldiers that's murdering our family, when they see you in that weak state, that's a turn on for them. That's a motivator for them. That's a recruitment tactic for their white supremacist organizations. That's how they gain greater membership. You think, black man, by you keep talking about how harmless you are, how non-threatening you are, that you're going to appeal to some higher nature in them that's going to tell them to stand down. That doesn't work. It makes you look foolish. They've shown you for 500 years why that doesn't work. They've shown you that being in the streets, operating in nonviolent resistance and begging and pleading them, they've shown you how that doesn't work. When you show weakness in their eyes like that, when you show humanity and understanding, they send out the dogs. They turn on the fire hoses. LeBron, you got to study the opposition like you would another NBA team that you were getting ready to play against. LeBron, you would not go out on the court without being prepared. LeBron, you must know the nature of who you're dealing with. LeBron, when you keep losing, don't you guys typically reassess why you're losing? God, today, black family, if for 500 years we've not gotten more traction, intelligent black people assess why that is. You don't double down on the losing strategy. How many of you all know that if you find somebody that's a weak link on the court, don't sometimes y'all get rid of them? Or if you don't, they gonna ride the bench. I'm gonna need somebody black to talk black to me. Do you see the danger that you're programming our youth to be scared? You're telling our babies to be scared. Watch this. Watch this. I was sharing with you yesterday, and some of you, I was like, Vicki, this is just too deep. some of the information I've shared with you yesterday, and I've shared similar things before, but I'd like to take you further on some stuff, and I've got to shut it off within a reasonable time today. The problem, LeBron, with you saying that you're going to campaign for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, Jim Crow Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, is, baby, that it's number one, you're doing this because you're being motivated by fear. And Barack Obama has been in your ear. Hillary Clinton and them has been in your ear, and they've been giving you deceptive knowledge. How many of you all know that that's a strategy when you are at war? See, when the other side gives you misinformation, that's so that you can be misdirected. And when you're misdirected, the other side has an advantage. Why do some of you modern Negroes think you are more intelligent than the Honorable Marcus Garvey, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad? Both of those men, neither one of them pushed voting as the answer and solution for Black liberation. But both of those men managed to have schools, stores, international relations, change lives, media. They managed to do in their day and in their time what none of y'all have been able to do thus far. So why should we go with your method? Some of you think that you're wiser than our ancestors, even the bootlicks back in the day. Even W.E.B. Du Bois, he was a bootlick at one time. W.E.B. Du Bois did some good stuff. I'm not throwing him all the way under the bus. But I don't appreciate him working with the government against Marcus Garvey. I don't appreciate the black boule of that day starting the campaign of Marcus must go, Garvey must go. That was the black boule that had something to do with that too. Because these were black men that promoted working outside of the establishment as the primary means of black empowerment. And the question is, we're 100 years, Marcus Garvey, Donald Elijah Muhammad, this has been almost 100 years ago now. Has any of y'all's methods worked so far? This is for intelligent black people. You think you've evolved beyond them? Not when you got a Hillary Clinton or her campaign in your ear. Not when you've got a Joe Biden or Joe Biden's campaign in your ear. LeBron is listening to the wrong people. LeBron doesn't understand that power and wisdom is coming from the ground up this season, baby. Being in the know and having the necessary insight and power is not coming from Bo, as some of you all affectionately call him. White people mostly do that. Barack Obama. It's not coming from Jim Crow Joe, who likes to talk to hoes. Somebody talk black to me. Those are vestiges of power. They're the stuff that was left over of what was once considered to be powerful. God, today. Keep liking and sharing, family. Keep liking and sharing. I'm going to make it quick today. I'm not going to go as far as I went yesterday. I want to pick up with some things that I left off about making the masculine black man docile, because this principle is at work with the LeBron James campaigning for a white zaddy that is Jim Crow Joe Biden. LeBron doesn't realize it, but he's actually asking us to rely on a white supremacist oppressive system. He doesn't realize it, y'all. He's got deceptive intelligence where somebody told him, man, this is the only way we're really going to break through is if more black folk go out and vote. He doesn't know he has deceptive intelligence, but we're busting that up for our brother today. And I'm going to leave it up to you, Black family, to the tune of thousands of those that are watching later and many, many more from our other platforms, perhaps that will watch us later. It's up to you to like, to share, and to tag him and others to say, man, do you know who a Vicki Dillard is? I'm not boasting in myself. I boast in my connection with who knows? God today. It's up to us to ask him, not do you know who Hillary Clinton is? We got to make our people look stupid if they're bragging about knowing a Barack Obama and a Hillary Clinton, and they don't know who we are, where power is coming from in this season. That's up to us, because Black family, we're king makers. We make stuff move and shift. But you got to know that. I was talking to you yesterday about how they create docile males. Is that right? And I know you've, like Vicki, you always tell us this, but I'm going to keep reminding of you of this. Why? Because in these next, 2 months or so, up to November 3rd, there's a certain energy that you're going to be experiencing, because this has to do with the selection of who will rule over you. Shout out to you, Solo Dolo, and others. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Yes, supporting the fourth estate. Listen, I remind you often that after the seeming success of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, right? The intelligent Black people. When was the Civil Rights Act? 1964, right? The Voting Rights Act, 1965, right? Doing all of that voting and legislative pushing did not have a substantive effect for Black life. We know a Black motorist in August of 1965 in the Watts section of South Central Los Angeles, after the arrest of that Black motorist, it caused an eruption of 6 days of hell on earth that mostly Black men gave America from August 11th through the 17th. When did I say that was? August of 1965. What happened? What did they experience by this Black resistance? This because of oppression, of injustice and mistreatment and violence of white America. That confrontation with police resulted in 34 dead, 1,032 injured, 3,952 arrested, and 600 businesses destroyed. I'm going to keep reminding you that it caused $40 million worth of damage in 1965. After that, what happened? July of 1967, y'all remember? The Detroit rebellions, right? That blew up after a police raid on a local bar. Do you all notice? Are you noticing who the foot soldiers are in this white supremacist war? Even in 1965, what instigated that what? That Watts riot was what? That Black motorist, Marquette Fryer, after his arrest in 1965, right? Police was involved then. Y'all see the connection? The white supremacist race soldiers always got their funky looking self. They're the foot soldiers. They're the enforcement arm. But in 67, Detroit blew up what? Because of a police raid. Do you all see the activity of these white supremacist foot soldiers? I read an article the other day. Shout out to Black media that's been highlighting this. where one of their law enforcement officials admitted which would appear to be a deposition, a legal proceeding he was in, where he acknowledged that some of the police in that particular agency were conducted a certain murder so that they could be a part of this gang and get a certain tattoo that they have for killing people. I said, you're right, soldiers. See, this is a decades-long problem. And so some of you Negroes that come out of here talking about it's just give them new de-escalation tactics. You sound stupid. You make our ancestors and our surviving elders look like stupid idiots when they've been dealing with the same pigs that we've been dealing with. You show your newness in activism when you think you came up with something. And we're dealing with a certain type of nature and tendency that our ancestors and elders been dealing with for longer than you've been alive. Times 10. You look stupid. You thought for the first time in your life you engaged in thinking. Y'all know thinking is new for some people. Thinking is new for some people. I'm going to keep saying it. You thought, oh, I know. We're going to look powerful and look like leaders out here in the streets and demand de-escalation training. You knew. You are brand spanking new. Newness. 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 Newness best slowness. God, today. Keep hitting that thumbs up button, like and share. Watch this. Remember 67 Detroit, what happened? That what sparked that was what that police raid on a local bar for 5 days of one of the most destructive riots in American history at that time. The Detroit Rebellion resulted in 43 dead, 1,189 injured, more than 7,200 arrested, and 2,000 buildings destroyed. Now, before you sit here and tell me what all the weapons you don't have and that we don't have the stuff that's equal to white America, let me tell you something. The brothers back in the day, they didn't have to have none of that. All they found out was something sparked the brothers and it caused all this damage. Do you understand that you are the weapon? That you are the technology? And that it just takes that one thing to spark you, that even when you don't have the resources and the tools that everybody else has, when you have a made up mind, there's a power that attends you. Did you catch that? Thumbs up, family. Keep liking and sharing. And then what happened after that? 65, right? Watts. Closer toward the end of 65, August of 65. Then in 67, what did we say? The Detroit, right? Then what happened after that? They didn't get no kind of break. 68, the assassination of Dr. King. What happened? 100. Over 100 American cities experienced out of control what they would call riots. And some of us know to call them uprisings or rebellions. I reminded you of that. And what happened after that? All of a sudden, your government started to do little reports, like the Kerner report. That came as a result of that. And they concluded with the Kerner report on page 426 of that report. The Kerner Commission. They investigated the causes of Detroit that happened in Detroit. And they concluded in the 426-page Kerner report that was released February 29, 1968, they concluded that the riots resulted from Black frustration at the lack of economic opportunity and called for creation of new jobs, new construction, and the end of de facto segregation that created the ghetto environment. So what did they do for some of you Negroes? They legalized weed. And so y'all chilled out now. You don't want to be angry. You want to be just chilled. But yo, just chill. You just want to be chilled all the way out. these sober assessments and recommendations that these reports made were ignored. It started the scientists to figure out slick and diabolical ways of controlling, mind control, so that they would never have to experience a Detroit, a Watts, and another 100 cities going up in flames or experiencing some form of rebellion. And your government has been on the job ever since. Family, I'm gonna share this, and I'm for real, gotta get ready to go, because remember, tonight is my Wednesday mastermind class, clubvicki.com. You can still join for $1 for the first 30 days. I'm so excited. Tonight, I'm going to be talking about the spirituality of a voice print. Ooh, it's going to be good. I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to seeing what I'm going to say. I know y'all are wondering there too, because I hear people tell me all the time, Vicki, I wonder what Vicki's going to talk about. Family, I'm wondering sometimes what I'm going to talk about, because, beloved, I'm being moved by what I hear. Are you hearing me? So make sure that you join that at clubvicki.com, clubvicki.com. Listen, I gave you some heavy information on some Harvard scientists and others yesterday, but I want to pick up on that just briefly. Dr. Ernst Rodin's castrated black bulls of the inner city. Remember, I talked about that yesterday briefly? In 1972, because I just want to remind you of this. In 1972, it says, as a result of the Detroit Rebellion of 1967, the state of Michigan planned an experimental program aimed at the control of violence, which included psychosurgery and chemical castration. I told you how this program was supposed to be run out of the Lafayette Clinic of Wayne County University and headed by Chief Neurosurgeon Dr. Ernst Rodin. Rodin was a collaborator of the Harvard Trio. Remember, we talked about that briefly yesterday. He visited their project site and assessed their psychosurgery patients. It says that Rodin was not satisfied with Harvard Trio's results. He thus proposed his own psychosurgery experiment and got funding from the state to carry it out. Remember, we talked about how the Harvard Trio yesterday, and if you missed that show, make sure you listen to all of it, family. I'm dropping all kinds of receipts, all kinds of references, and connected all kinds of dots. They managed to get funding from Congress, having a direct link to do that, and additional funding from the DOJ. You see here where this particular Dr. Ernest Rodin, I'm calling him, he got funding from the state of Michigan. And in a speech in 1972, he spoke on the implications of the riots that had racked his city, and he proposed as a solution not only psychosurgery, but also chemical castration of the urban males. They're not looking for the Roland Martins of the world. Those kinds of men, they don't scare them. The men that's on TV crying, they're not even worried about doing nothing, because they know they already castrated them. They're absolutely no threat to them. Notice how the main ones that these experiments, that the targets are always that black male, that quote unquote urban black male, which, why, Vicki? And I tell you this all the time, they represent our warrior class. You say they're wild and crazy. They see something in them that they know is dangerous to white supremacy if it has the proper guidance. In his 1972 speech, Rodin proposed a solution. He said, quote, tolerance and encouragement of free thought. I read this briefly yesterday. It's probably excellent, for the high IQ bracket, but not advisable for the lower one. Wow. He goes on and says that the problem is that the ox may not recognize himself as an ox. and demand Jupiter's prerogatives. In other words, the urban bulls agitate for better living conditions and for rights because they don't recognize their place in the hierarchical order. But much violence could be avoided, Rodin claimed, by castrating the, quote, dumb young males. Listen to this other quote again. Farmers have known for ages immemorial that you can't do. I'm giving you a quote from this man with his sick mind. This is a mind of one of your so-called intelligent white supremacists. That's an academician. Quote, farmers have known for ages immemorial that you can't do a blasted thing with a bull except fight or kill and eat him. The castrated ox, however, will pull his own plow. It is also well known that human eunuchs, although at times quite scheming entrepreneurs, are not given to physical violence. Our scientific age tends to disregard the wisdom of the past. LeBron doesn't know that this is the thinking of these white supremacists. Listen. The castrated ox will pull his own plow. Another call for incapacitated males to serve the beneficiaries of this society. They want slavery. The early proposal of the chemical castration of inner city black males is particularly important, as we will confront it again much later in the discussion. This admittedly cold-blooded research of Rodin was funded by the state of Michigan to the tune of $250,000. Was a controlled study comparing the effects of the Harvard trio's suggested psychosurgery to Rodin's proposed chemical castration as the solution to the problem of urban violence and civil disorder. If you're wondering what the Harvard trio is, you've got to watch the show from yesterday. You've got to catch up from yesterday. In fact, Rodin argued that both procedures were necessary in order to turn the targeted black male into the hopefully, this is a quote, into hopefully more placid dullard. However, dumb or ignorant person, in other words. However, in 1972, before the project could officially take off, a Michigan Legal Services lawyer intervened in court on behalf of 24 state psychiatric inmates scheduled for enrollment in the project. A 3-panel judge convened and determined that psychosurgery was destructive and should not be performed on an involuntary basis. They were getting ready to use black males to involuntarily participate in this project. And then thankfully a 3-judge panel intervened. But watch this. But only temporary, family. Keep liking and sharing, family. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Don't forget you can follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. Follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard and on Twitter at Dillard Vicki. Listen, I'm almost done because I got to get ready for my class. Dr. Jose M.R. Delgado's remote control black bulls. Now, you know, I gave you a little bit of information that we talked about yesterday. Check out yesterday's where I break down the Harvard trio. It'll make more sense. Dr. Jose M.R. Delgado's. I want you to listen to this, white supremacists. Young inner city males as aggressive black bulls to be scientifically tamed was a consistent theme in the work of this circle of psychosurgeons. So while y'all sitting here, y'all hear, no disrespect to Charlemagne the God. When you Negroes keep telling us about going to therapy, and y'all keep pushing on us mental illness, family, we know black folks deal with mental illnesses. That's the reason why we believe in Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. No disrespect to you, Charmaine, but you said a little something slick about her too. So did Dr. Mark Lamont Hill. So did Yvette Carnell. I'm keeping it real. We believe in listening to Black folks who are capable of dealing with the mental illness of Black people. Because our mental illnesses is brought about from white people, God, today. And we're not getting ready to go to them to deal with our holy minds, baby. Because they're getting ready to install something. This is the reason why I don't play when y'all mess with our Black intelligentsia, the real Black intelligentsia. Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, who had an extraordinary amount of education. This physician psychiatrist who didn't just get her information and draw her conclusions from white scholarship. She dealt with the minds of our open enemies. And you all look stupid when you show a greater reliance. Hello, Nick Cannon. Upon white folks that you deem to be more intelligent than your own. Somebody talk Black to me. Hit that thumbs up button. Listen. Talking about these circles of psychosurgeons. It says the seriousness with which this analogy was taken is demonstrated most clearly, listen, in the work of Yale physiology professor, Dr. Jose Manuel Rodriguez Delgado. My God, today, about to call you JMRD. You finna be JD today. Who worked closely with the Harvard trio. In fact, he looms larger than anyone in this earlier government effort, to scientifically control the Black male mind. The Black male mind. For it was he who, quote, pioneered that most unnerving of technologies, the brain chip, an electronic device that can manipulate the mind by receiving signals from and transmitting them to neurons. Also important are Delgado's connections to the intelligence community. Did you see yesterday how I connected the dots and showed you how the Harvard trio had direct connections to who? To Congress and to what? The Department of Justice. I told you that the Harvard trio not only got money from Congress, but they also got money from the Department of Justice. Are you listening? Bill Barr, the top cop of the United States of America, of the Department of Justice. What did he say long before the uprising started? Did tell Black communities, didn't he threaten our Black communities to say that we're not going to receive the protection they deserve because we did not literally applaud police officers in the same manner that we applaud military soldiers that come through the airports? I did a show on that. That's why I tell you every show that I do is important. Didn't I show you family, Black brothers in particular? When Donald Trump got there, he put millions and millions and millions of dollars and gave military resources for law enforcement. Somebody talk Black to me. Back to Dr. Jose M.R. Delgado's remote control Black bulls. Listen. What did I just say? I said what's also important are Delgado's connections to the intelligence community. Further proving that they're at war with us. Because what typically attends a military unit? Having intelligence. Is that right, family? Black family, you better wake up and smell the begonias. His research was primarily funded by military institutions such as the Office of Naval Research and the Air Force Aeromedical Research Laboratory. And when he returned to Spain, the Spanish monthly magazine Tiempo interviewed him in 2000 and reported that he had ties with the Spanish secret police. You can act like you don't get it if you want to. Your local law enforcement, which we're proving to you every single day, they are not only gang banging your white police, race soldiers, intentionally murdering black folk. It's not only infiltrated your law enforcement agencies, they're working with other international law enforcement agencies against you. This month, I told you I'm starting to release my series of the man of lawlessness according to 2 Thessalonians 2. I'm going to be talking about that even more. I've already got a couple of videos up from a few weeks back discussing some of the training that your American law enforcement agencies are receiving from Israel. I've explained to you here on the show the geopolitical connection with Freeway Ricky Ross, the crack cocaine epidemic that ravaged our communities, that came from the White House, buying through the CIA, working with the working with Iran and the Contras from Nicaragua. That's geopolitics. There's an international connection that had to do with the undoing of black people. Yes, it's deep. That's how important, that's how powerful you are, black family. Why do you think I bow to you? Why do you think I serve you? And why do you think I tell all the other peoples of the world that if they had any sense, that they would honor and respect us? Because they can only experience freedom, justice, and equity in their own lives when they first give it to us. Thumbs up, family. Keep liking and sharing. I'm almost done. What did I just tell you about Delgado? I said what was unusual about him, what's important about him was what? His connections to the intelligence community. Y'all can be sleep you want all you want to, slowness. You're not going to get this from no Ebony and Essence magazine. BET not going to tell you this. They want you twerking. And they putting Billy Porter on the front of Essence magazine. They got you distracted so that you don't use your big black brain to pay attention to the goings on. You keep looking up and you keep wondering why black devastation, why black death, and why black folks are out of their mind. I'm trying to show you where this is leading to. Born in Ronda, Spain in 1915, Delgado accepted a position in Yale's physiology department. In 1950. Y'all want to look at a picture of his funny looking self? Probably scaring you, ain't it? Somebody talk black to me. I'm about done. It is there where he did his work, so much of which is truly the stuff of the Twilight Zone, the writer says. Delgado can be considered the first American master of brain control. He implanted radio-equipped electrode arrays called stimocevers, STIMOCEIVERS. Shout out to you, D2, for your gift. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. God bless you, my gracious queen. Keep preaching to the people. You are the voice of the people. Thank you, beloved. Listen. He implanted these radio-equipped electrode arrays called stimocevers in cats, monkeys. Don't they love monkeys? They love them some monkeys. Remember that one white scientist that brought crack cocaine in before? He brought it before the crack cocaine flooded the neighborhood. Remember I gave y'all the lowdown of that fool that taught the monkeys how to smoke crack? And he admitted it in a legal proceeding. Y'all remember when the Vicki show gave you the 411 on that? Names, receipts, heavy stuff. They put these arrays, y'all, in cats, monkeys, chimpanzees, bulls, humans, and so forth. Listen, and showed that he can control subjects' minds and bodies with the push of a button. With electrodes inserted in the brain, Delgado, in fact, was able to, quote, play monkeys and cats and bulls and humans like little electronic toys that yawn, hide, fight, play, mate, and go to sleep on command. Woo! Tell me that's not the state of Black America. Tell me that's not the state of Black America. And you think you're in control because you can't see the obvious links. You can't see the obvious change because they're controlling it now by Wi-Fi. They're controlling it remote control. Everybody hit that thumbs up button, like, share, share, share. Again, my name is Vicki Dillard. I'm here on FlyNewingQueenTV.com weekdays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't forget to sign up to my mastermind, my weekly mastermind. I'm doing it tonight. ClubVicki.com for $1 for the first 30 days. Your life will never be the same. If you're someone that's looking for more purpose and power, this is for you. Listen. What did I just say? He showed that he would be able to what? Control or play monkeys and cats and bulls and humans like electronic toys that yawn, hide, fight, play, mate, meaning have sex, and go to sleep on command. Tell me that's not the condition of the Black family in some ways. Tell me that's not the condition of us in some ways. But far from Delgado's most famous act of mind and behavior control was his sensational bull experiment. I'll get into more of that later, okay? That bull experiment, family, that was conducted was so profound. It says, according to John Osmundson of the New York Times, he thought this was probably the most spectacular demonstration ever performed of the deliberate modification of animal behavior through external control of the brain. According to Delgado, he was trying to find out what make Braves bull. For those of you that are not getting what I'm saying yet, they use bulls as the proxy for the Black male. And Jose Delgado, the one I've been talking about, literally performed his famous bull experiment in Spain. May I show you a picture? This was the proxy for the Black man. Do you all see that? You see that picture? Y'all don't know how powerful you are. Black man, Black woman, Black family. This isn't making sense now. According to Delgado, as I just said, he was trying to find out what makes brave bulls brave. Y'all better see yourself in the story. It says this takes on added significance when you consider Delgado's confession that his primary interest in these experiments is their social applicability. Can I read you a quote from him? And I'll be done for that part for now. We'll pick up later as I keep talking about these Black men. Why am I discussing this in case you're missing it? I showed you yesterday that big old Terrell Owens repeatedly talked about how scared he is. I showed you LeBron James admitted the same. And so they are pushing for us to vote for white zaddy out of fear. It's fine if he told us to push for Joe Biden because Joe Biden has a robust multi-trillion-dollar cut the check policy for Black people that are the foundational Black Americans, that are descendants of American slaves. That would make sense. But that's not the case. They're using our big Black men to do it. Listen, and why would they submit themselves to such a thing? I'm trying to let you guys know the power and the importance and the threat of a big Black brain that's in its right mind. A Black man, a Black man that's in our right minds. The danger we are. I'm trying to show you how they have tried to attack and destroy it from the beginning. And I'm bringing it up to modern times. Do you understand? Finally, This is a quote from Delgado. He says, I do believe that an understanding of the biological basis of social and antisocial behavior and of mental activities, which for the first time in history can now be explored in a conscious brain, may be of decisive importance in the search for intelligent solutions to some of our present anxieties, frustrations, and conflicts. Delgado, no doubt, had the urban rioters in mind and the bravery of the bulls. Remember, all this stuff that I'm telling you is within context of the effect, the damage that they saw black men do. That scared the white supremacists to death. They were afraid for two reasons. Because they saw the black man destroy not only them if they needed to defend themselves, but also their economy and their businesses. The black man, the masculine black man that would defend his people, that would defend himself, his people, is the one that would physically do damage to the white supremacists that tried to murder him and to his world. Y'all ain't catching how deep this is. So that's the reason why they like to bussify you, take you through a glorified bussification process. And they reward you, Billy Porter, for doing it. Then they take your most scariest black masculine man, one of them, Snoop Dogg, and they hook him up and give him all the weed and the wine in the world to put him out of his mind. And then he started hooking up with Martha Stewart and still think we're going to look at him as hard. Snoopy. Y'all play too much. Finally, Delgado no doubt had the urban rioters in mind and the bravery of the bulls. I showed you a literal picture from back in the day. That's him performing his famous bull experiment in Spain. Remember, they're using the black bull as a proxy for the black male. This has to do with experimenting about you, the original black gods. They're trying to crack the God code. God, today, I'm dropping y'all some jewels. Delgado no doubt has the urban riders in mind, and the bravery of the bulls is apparently a source of such antisocial behavior, and it must be understood and fixed. Y'all's kind of masculinity is a different kind, baby. It requires the intelligence agency's input and resources. It required law enforcement, the DOJ, the White House, and Congress. Are you getting it now? Watch this. In this regard, an observation by John Horgan on Delgado's bull experiment has some significance. I'm done for real after this. Quote, articles hailed Delgado's transformation of an aggressive bull into a real life version. How many of y'all heard about this? Of Ferdinand the Bull. Y'all think that that's just some cartoon, and you don't even understand it was about you. Ferdinand the Bull, the gentle hero of a popular children's story, the children's story written in 1936 by Monroe Leaf, is about Ferdinand, the gentle and kind-natured bull who is yet the largest and strongest bull among his peers and is capable of ferocity when stung by a bee. Ferdinand is completely uninterested, though, in fighting and would rather sit under a tree all day and smell flowers rather than fight, even when forced into the bullfighting ring, and suffers multiple provocations by the matador. Does that sound like you, black man? Can I show you a picture? How many of y'all remember this bull? This picture of this particular bull in the children's story, like a cartoon. Am I lying, family? Y'all see that picture, black family? Are you connecting the dots? Princess, I love you back. That is from a children's story. This is a real live experiment with black males in mind. Are you getting it? I ain't got time to go further, but it talks about some of his research that he did in the 60s, y'all. And according to this writer, that they found that there were some connections to that children's story that was written in 1936 about that, the Ferdinand the Bull. What were some of the traits of Ferdinand the Bull? This is you, black man. Tell me I'm lying. What were some of the traits of Ferdinand the Bull? He's completely uninterested. Not all of you, some. He's completely uninterested, though, in fighting, and would rather sit under a tree and smell flowers. Isn't that what that in the children's book? He'd rather sit under a tree all day and smell flowers rather than fight, even when forced into the bullfighting ring, and suffers multiple provocations by the matador. How many times had the black man been provoked? And he still showed mercy and still didn't fight. Ferdinand is precisely the docile ox that Dr. Ernest Rodin sought to turn the aggressive bulls of the inner city into. In fact, Ferdinand is a lot like the Negro that Robert Park described as the lady of the races. With the utmost in politeness, she cannot bear to hurt anyone's feelings. That sounds like some of you Negroes. Can't bear to hurt anyone's feelings. The Negro is primary an artist, loving life for its own sake. It's too much, y'all. I gotta go. I love y'all. We'll pick up more on this later. You understand. You're connecting the dots. I know I'm talking to intelligent black people. Tomorrow, I think I may talk about something that just happened recently. Your black boule, y'all know one of the main ones that was calling black folks simple Simon MFers, and that the Democratic Party that was attacking black men. Shout out to the Vicki Show. We've been on top of it. I know I'm not the only one, but I've been discussing black masculinity for a long time. And I've been connecting the dots, especially during this lead up to the presidential race. Guess what the black boule just admitted out loud? They're scared that Donald Trump, if he gets just a little bit more of a percentage of black men voting for him, that little bit could make all the difference in the world. And now they're appealing to the Democrats to reach out to the black man. I'm not trying to brag or nothing, but who's been talking about that? Who's been calling out the Democrats for disrespecting black men for a long time? Who over a year and some change ago did a show on Howard Dean, calling a member of the of black media, telling him to shut the F up? Some of the other Democrats, did you all know, long time ago, blamed Dr. Boyce for messing up one of the elections? Oh, yes, they did. Some of y'all didn't know that. Because he wasn't riding the coattails of the Democratic Party. Don't miss tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning into the Vicki Show, family. Thumbs up, like, share, club. My weekly mastermind. I'm getting ready to switch over to that, getting ready to switch over there now. Love y'all. I came to you in peace. I leave you in peace.